Welcome to ASR's IS Institute, taking a look at current affairs for 15th October 2016. The news items first. The first news item is joint consultation on ending triple talaq, says Centre. So the issue of triple talaq has been before the Supreme Court. The Centre has been asked to put forth its views as well. All India Muslim Personal Law Board was asked to give in its views. The Law Commission has been asked to look into the matter. It is taking views from all sides, from all stakeholders. But now All India Muslim Personal Law Board has decided to boycott Law Commission, which is not in consensus. What the Centre wants is consensus. Everybody coming together, joint consultation, and then coming to a conclusion. So it's a case before the Supreme Court presently. Supreme Court even in October 2015 had taken a suo motu PIL, quest for right to equality amongst Muslim women. So eliminating gender discrimination. So this triple talaq basically is that a Muslim man can divorce his wife by speaking out talaq, talaq, talaq thrice. Actually, this is even illegal, not recommended by the Sharia laws as well. Even the All India Muslim Personal Law Board said that this is undesirable. But once if such an incident had taken place, it was allowed. So that shows that it can be allowed. So Sharia laws are basically based on precedents. What were allowed during the times of Prophet Muhammad, they continue, how it was done during those times, what was allowed by him then are continued even today. So the thing is that though undesirable, it is allowed. So Muslim law allows it. So now the question is whether in India too it should be allowed or not. So Supreme Court is looking into the matter in today's times. So the question here is again whether till date Sharia laws or personal laws for Muslims continue to hold. In criminal matters, there are two types of laws, criminal laws and civil laws. In criminal matters, we have a uniform code. In IPC, Indian Penal Code, and CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code. So Sharia laws in criminal cases are also there. You must have heard of cases like in Saudi Arabia, the way they treat rape victims, the way they treat a murderer. So an eye for an eye, that's the kind of law in Sharia. But that does not apply in India. So criminal laws have been through consensus have been brought together. So we have same criminal laws for all. Civil laws, even the constitution under directive principle of state policy wants uniform civil code. That is Article 47. So states should strive towards this. And this has been an agenda of BJP. BJP wants to bring in uniform civil code because even post-independence, Jawaharlal Nehru had brought in the Hindu Code Bill. This Hindu Code Bill required uniform laws for all other religions except Muslims and Christians. So Hindu religion there included six Jains and Buddhists as well. So this Hindu Code Bill has same civil laws for all these religious communities. But Muslim personal laws remain different because during those times it was felt already there was Hindu-Muslim rift because of partition and the violence then. So we cannot look into this matter right now. But post then to till date, nothing has happened on this matter. Now the issue comes up again. So whether we should have a uniform civil code or not. So government presently is taking steps towards that only. So banning triple talaq. Then polygamy is another matter in Muslim laws which is allowed under Islam. Then there is polygamy means one man marrying multiple women, maximum up to 4 are allowed in Islam. And the third issue is about nikah halala. Nikah halala is a practice in which a man once divorces a woman, he is not allowed to remarry her immediately. So if she marries another man and then after that she divorces him, after that this woman can again marry the former husband. So this is called nikah halala, the nikah done in between. So this wrong practice actually has started off that a woman, just because she wants to go back to her former husband, she indulges in this nikah just for doing this thing that the nikah next nikah has taken place and now she can go back after divorce to her former husband. So it's actually not a practice recommended by Islam, but all these things also take place. So government wants women's rights to be upheld. She cannot be compelled to such practices like nikah halala. She cannot be forced into a divorce just by saying talaq thrice. She cannot be forced to accept polygamy, the husband marrying again. So all such practices have to come to an end, but this is a gradual phenomena. It has to happen through consensus. So Centre also agrees to this. The next item is about opposition and NGOs slamming the move to amend Citizenship Act. The Citizenship Act is being amended presently through to give citizenship rights to illegal migrants from countries like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan. These are minorities, the Hindu minorities who are persecuted in these countries, and they have fled from there and come to India. Presently, they are illegal migrants. But once this act is effected, amendment is effected, then they will no longer be called illegal migrants. They can hasten the process of registration as Indian citizens. So this Citizenship Amendment Act is, criticized because it gives these special provisions on the basis of religion. So only Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, such minorities will be allowed in India and given provisions under this amendment, but not other minorities. Like if the person basically is Muslims have been excluded, so that is the reason for criticism. And that is not just the case, even Muslims, some sects of Muslims are also persecuted in these countries, like Ahmadi Muslims in Pakistan. Even the constitution has been amended to put restrictions on them. So such minorities are also persecuted. So what if they want to come to India? They will not be allowed any provision under this because this is only strictly based on religion. So it's not just for all persecuted people. So that's the reason for the criticism. Then next is delay in security nod will not stall visas for Pakistanis. The Pakistani actors are also facing opposition in India presently, but the center says we are not going to indulge in any such knee-jerk reaction. Pakistani visas will not be denied on any such matter. Then center plans to revive counter-terror body. So the National Counter-Terrorism Center was proposed by the former UPA government. It was Home Minister P. Chidambaram who had proposed it, but then that time the states had opposed it, and principally Gujarat CM then Narendra Modi had opposed this move, calling it against federalism. But presently now the government wants to revive this National Counter-Terrorism Center proposal, and they are talking will bring in consensus from all states and go ahead. Then government to use post offices to distribute pulses. So pulses have to be distributed to bring in price constraints. So the government is saying that wherever states do not have government distribution centers, then even the post offices can be used for these distribution of pulses before the festival season basically. Then the next news is self-powered UV photo detectors charges electric in energy storage devices. So this has been again an innovation by Indian scientists from IISc in Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science. They have found UV photo detectors are there. They use zinc oxide for absorbing UV rays, but now they have modified it in such a way that it can use this facility. This can be used with much more efficiency. So that is where they have worked on. They have increased the surface area. It uses nano technology too. There are nano rods in this photo detector which help in UV ray absorption. They have used, rather than nano rods, they have used nano flakes. So that increases the surface area and brings in better absorption. So this is their innovation done here. Research been successful. And the next item is tensions with Pakistan overshadow BRICS summit. This is regarding the BRICS summit which is to be held today and tomorrow, 15th and 16th October. So Pakistan tensions will overshadow BRICS summit means basically they are more so talking about terrorism. The UN Convention also against terrorism which India had proposed has been stalled for so long, that has not been taken up at UN because of lack of consensus. So India is pushing ahead for that too, asking for BRICS support on that. BRICS in its 2010 summit had supported it. So again it is demanding more aggressively that should be supported. So those aspects will dominate in BRICS summit also. Then China refuses to budge on India's NSG bid and Azhar's banning. So China has refused to give consent on the NSG membership, Nuclear Suppliers Group. So the Nuclear Suppliers Group membership is wired by India. India wants it, but China is putting obstructions, so it's not accepting. That is a problem there. And on Azhar, Maulana Masood Azhar, the founder of LET, Lashkar-e-Toiba, whose declaration as a terrorist we are demanding at UN, but China being a permanent member is stalling that. It has put a technical hold. We have done this in news earlier. So it still refuses to budge on that. Then the next news item is China-Bangladesh inked 26 agreements after Xi-Hasina talks. So Chinese premier visited even Bangladesh and they have signed agreements. So China-Bangladesh ties are strong. Even Bangladesh premier is going to come to India as well, because at BRICS summit we have also invited BIMSTEC members. So it's not just BRICS, is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. And BIMSTEC is Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Thailand and Nepal, Bhutan and Sri Lanka. So these members, 7-member BIMSTEC, have also been invited. India is the common member, of course, and we are hosting BRICS Summit. So it's an extension given to them too, to come to the summit. Then the next news item is Clinton says US could ring China with missile defense. So this is regarding North Korea going rogue. So now China is supporting North Korea in some ways. Of course, it is the economic stronghold for it. Otherwise, North Korea cannot survive economically. So the thing is that China should be controlled in this matter, and US Secretary of State and President nominee Hillary Clinton has said that we should ring China with missile defense. Those were tapes which have been come out in public, so we come to know about her views. This may be a presidential tactic also, giving her views, strong views about how to tackle China. Then the next news item is Israel cuts ties with UNESCO over Jerusalem draft resolution. So UNESCO passed a resolution on this Jerusalem site and it is calling it by the Arabic name. So Israel says that why you are using the Arabic name and not the name which Israel gives to this site. So that is why they have cut ties with UNESCO now. Then the next issue is Palestinians push for UN membership against settlements. So it is known that Israel is encroaching region of Palestine and bringing in Jewish settlements there. Even USA recently spoke against it and rebuked Israel. So Palestinians are also asking for UN membership, which is stalled because Israel does not want Palestine to become UN member. So they're still again making a push for UN membership too, and they're asking UN to act against Jewish settlements which are encroaching in their land. And the last item is Niti Aayog reviewing Concorde stake sale. So Concorde is Container Corporation of India, which is held by under Ministry of Railways, and this is a monopoly actually. So there will be a disinvestment in this, which is planned. Niti Aayog asked for it, but then it has been to be reviewed. This decision will be reviewed because it is said, even Competition Commission of India at one point of time had said that Concorde's policies affect, means if they increase the prices, then the private sector using its services are affected. So if a disinvestment takes place, then private sector will become a monopoly. So we need to reconsider this. Is a review will be done on this, and more so it is likely that Concorde disinvestment may not take place. So that is the news items. We'll look at each of them too now in detail. So the first item we have already discussed it. These are the three issues: triple talaq, polygamy and nikah halala, which though not mentioned here, divorce in courts. So these are All India Muslim Personal Law's views that it is still valid, though it is not desirable, though it is considered a sin also in some cases, but it is allowed. So that is the problem. And this is a stand of women's group that it's sin, so it should not be allowed. It affects our lives adversely. Then about the Citizenship Act, I already spoke to you. So these Ahmadi Muslims are religiously persecuted in Pakistan. The second amendment to the constitution in Pakistan deprived them of their religious rights also. So basically Islam believes that a Messiah would come in the world. So the Ahmadi Muslims believe that this Mahdi the messenger of God has already come on earth, and that is the founder of this Ahmadi sect, that is Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. But the Sunnis believe that this Mahdi will come and he will be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ will come back on earth. That's what they believe in. So Jesus Christ is also messenger of God under Islam too. He was much before Prophet Muhammad. So that is about, even there are religious Muslim minority sects which are also persecuted, but our Constitution Amendment, our Citizenship Amendment Act does not take that into consideration. That is one aspect. Then the next news is delay in security will not stall visas for Pakistan. So this is regarding the demands made in various sections, but there cannot be a visa denied on such grounds. It's based on the law. So the law requires that if he has committed a crime, the person, or if he is a threat to the country, or if he is considered an undesirable person in the country as per the law, then the visa can be revoked. So that will also not take place. Further news we'll do in another video because it is been extended. Please do watch the other videos. Thank you.